2,000 years later, one question remains. Few figures have shaped world history like Jesus of Nazareth. But beneath faith, theology, and tradition lies a historical question scholars still examine. Was he a historical person recorded in ancient memory, or a figure shaped by belief over time?
Roman-occupied Judea. Dusty villages, tax collectors, marketplaces, unrest in the streets. Most historians place the
story of Jesus in first-century Judea, a province under the control of the Roman Empire. It was a time of political tension, religious movements, and frequent resistance. Jewish teachers, prophets, and messianic claimants were not unusual in this period. In that world, the figure of Jesus is said to have emerged. Ancient manuscripts, fading parchment, Roman libraries, scribes' writing. The earliest surviving writings about Jesus comes from the letters of Paul, written roughly 20 to 30 years after the time Jesus is believed to have lived. These letters do not describe a biography. Instead, they focus on theological meaning, resurrection, faith, and community. Later, the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, appeared decades afterward.
Theology and oral tradition. Historians note an important point. These texts were not written as modern historical records,
but as religious writings shaped by belief communities. Ancient Roman scrolls, historians writing in Rome, political archives. A few Roman and Jewish historians wrote later references to Jesus or early Christians. Figures such as Josephus and Tacitus mention him indirectly or in brief passages, written decades after the events described. However, scholars debate how much of these references reflect original writing versus later additions by scribes. Still, they show something important. Early Christianity was known in the Roman world relatively early. Scholars in libraries. Split screens showing minimalist versus majority view. Today, most historians are religious and secular agree on a limited conclusion. A Jewish preacher named Jesus likely existed in first-century Judea.
But beyond that, debate begins. What exactly did he teach? How were his actions remembered? How much of the later story is theological interpretation? A smaller group of scholars argues the evidence is insufficient or too shaped by tradition. To confirm a historical individual with certainty, Episode 2, The Gospels and the Formation of the Story. If Jesus existed, historically, how did his life become the narratives found in the Gospels? And how did oral tradition, politics, and faith shape it?